if we build either concept one or concept two over here, 15 years down the road, can we expand at that site?
Well, concept,
enough.
let's look at concept two. If you did this, where you would expand would be, you would have to renovate this and go there. Unless like what Doe was saying, is that we could,
There's some more room there.
yeah,
I didn't know how close to scale the conceptual modules
We're
are.
at 430, what's our high, 475?
474.
Okay. And 600 is what? 18 to 20% growth, thereabouts. Until this, the crackdown on the opioids and the meth getting out on at the time, we were running about, what were we? So if you went back a year and a half, 2 years ago, right? 3. So I mean, you're looking at a significant amount of growth. Now, they could put 10,000 in. Okay, but I don't think we're gonna pay for it. But from an economic standpoint, I think we need to take that into consideration because it is a jail. We need to build what is necessary now. And I believe if you go look at some of these concepts, it doesn't even call for that many beds originally, does it? To expandable too? Does that sound right, Bill?
initially, we were looking at 400. Option 4 and 500.
That's what I'm saying. What you got a lot of air right there to do what? You know, I think that I hate to build a jail hoping they come, I'll be honest with you. That seems to be what everybody's goal is. What can we do the most? How many jails around here? I think Green County's the only one that's not overcrowded now. They got rid of the state prisoners. Are they still there? Are they still under, or are they still?
I think they're right on, Jefferson County was under,
Yeah,
and Hancock County was right on it.
but let's go back. Knox County's got 1,200, no, Knox County's got a little less than 1,000 beds. Their population is 6.5 times ours. Aren't they county 380? I think it's close, say it's 6 times ours. They're wanting to expand, okay? And they're not talking about anywhere spending their money we're talking about spending. And, you've got to get really serious. But, yeah, I think it's fabulous that we fix the jail. I know the sheriff and the chief needs a new jail. But we don't want to break ourselves for something that, we got a lot of major issues coming beside this jail. I think we need to build the jail as cheap as we possibly can and use the other money for where it needs to be. We can spend, I figured it out, I believe it's $115,000 in there to build one jail. $115,000, that's it. And we can't spend $13 million to build Fairview School. And that probably got to 10. But I think our problems, we have a jail issue, we got a school problem issue also. We gotta address that somewhere. And we can do it. I mean, you want double tax rate, we can do it tomorrow. I don't think we need to do that.
Give it as,
Well, one thing, though, I can tell you, I mean, when you think about the growth in Hamlin County and the jail population and where it goes and where it's been the last 20 years.
No, it's not been 20 years. We've been overpopulated.
But the
About 6
population
years,
hasn't
really
grown.
seriously.
It hasn't grown that much. I mean, really.
The population hasn't grown any.
And then another thing,
Since the census, and we'll be able to figure this out in 2 years. What are they saying now, 64,000?
68,000. I got the totals, I've got the totals, we've grown quite a bit. We've grown quite a bit in the last 15, 20 years.
Tell me the numbers.
I don't have those with me, I brought
You
them.
said you had them just then.
I do have them, I don't have with me, I do have them. But we've grown pretty much in the last 15, 20 years quite a bit.
we haven't doubled.
And you can tell You know, these people around here that's building all these restaurants, all this stuff, they're not gonna come into an area that's gonna be stagnated or losing people. They know there's gonna be growth here, they do their studies, and they know. I think we spend all this money putting these big steakhouses around here, so.
Well, if you jump from 2 million to 5 million, once this thing's built, that 5 million is not gonna go back to 2 million again. And the taxpayer's gonna have to pay that. Every year they're gonna pay for it, and probably increase from then on. And, I'm kind of what Doe's saying is, I'm not sure we should do 600 or 700, even though
No.
and hope don't go that much. I like the idea better where if you had the land out there, and I think, Taylor, you said something about it, about if we need to add another pot on it, we could do it later on, but we don't need to do it right at the very beginning and spend.
The land
six-
is out
I'd rather spend 30 or 35
And you don't have to
million.
do all that. What you need to do is make sure you've got availability to do it later on.
That's right.
That's the main thing right there.
Yeah.
What's the land out here at, whatever road it is, Martin Luther, what did it bring? Yes, sir. Tim, you've investigated, what do they bring?
I'm not sure what's gonna bring.
I mean, just.
There's a reserve out there.
You're talking about the project out there, you're in favor of going out there, you don't think we need to, or you're in favor of going somewhere else, you don't think we need to have an idea what the, do you know the process of buying it? Do you know what that is? Ask the city.
I'm not
Sewer
sure,
plant.
I'm not sure we can involve ourselves in that auction.
Beg pardon?
I'm not sure we can involve ourselves in that auction. That's why I say we need to check.
Do you know how we go about buying land? We can't make an offer without the money approved. I wonder what that does.
I understand, but what I'm
What
saying
does it
is,
do?
we don't need to sell ourselves to just one area. We need to check it all out. There's a place out here,
I got nothing in it, because I won't bid it, but it is not absolute. That's the only tract in that whole damn property that is not absolute. I heard there was a little over $1.5 million against it.
I don't know, that's what I'm saying. That's why we need to investigate.
But that's what I'm saying, you know, ask the city about buying stuff at an auction, you know, you remember that sewer plant out there. You know, well, I'm just saying, but we got to play the same rules they do, we've got to establish a price before we send Bill or whoever it is to buy it, we cannot go to an auction and bid money that we haven't appropriated. It doesn't work that way. If we wanted to stay reasonably within the bounds of the law. What's 66 million cost? Figure $1 what? Penny raises, like 35,000, all in. I mean, if you borrow the whole thing, all in at 40 million, it's gonna cost you, probably somewhere around, what are we paying on tax per day? 31 cents, I believe. I think it's 31 the last time. We'll have to double it. So you're talking about a 30-cent tax increase right there. And I know we got some stuff on that, but think what we're gonna do with the schools. There again, I mean, just deal with that, but I'm maybe fix the schools, more so, money-wise, than fix that. We're worried about, what about if the population is growing, would the school population not grow? It increased 60 this year, 60. Yeah, the county's population, the last time they counted it, is less than it was 3 years ago. That's a fact. I'll bet you would have jumped, shake your head all you want to. You bet a finger? I'm just telling you. What, we need to say, I mean, there's nothing that,
You've included the staffing costs
Yes.
on these facilities.
Yep.
But I've heard nothing about utilities and upkeep of the property, because that, I mean, that's gonna be a major expense.
Howard, it probably wouldn't cost any more, utilities is probably cheaper really, even though it's big, because
But we're still gonna be paying over here. We're still gonna have to,
Well, it would be a little less,
yeah.
we would use other, but that thing, where's the siege, I mean, as far as heat and air and stuff, you know. I think we're paying 22,000 last time I looked, for utility over there. That's water, so we use a lot of water. I think it's close.
Excuse me one second. Chief, did you have anything you wanted to add?
How much you show staffing you got over there, chief?
55.
Staffing it takes to run, operate the jail?
55.
54 positions.
You got it right here.
It's about,
And this new concept, 600 something, gonna be 119,
There in,
twice as much.
yeah, if you look,
One of them is.
yeah, one,
Once the plan.
yeah, here's the staffing model.
So all that propaganda preached to us, it will take less people to do the new jail. Up to me, it doesn't. I need to look at it upside down, but it's about, what? From 36% to almost 100% increase.
There's something you know, they're talking about building out on Martin Luther. I talked to the contractor that sat right behind it. And I said, did they use a sheep plow to pack that down with? I never did see one. So, you gotta have a compression test down in the underground, like core drilling, to see if your pressure is enough to hold up that building.
Well, I mean, it would, it was packed, but they didn't run tests on it. You know, they ran a sheep's load, some of it.
Are you talking about the coffee grill MOK?
Huh?
Some of it they did.
That's 25% rock,
It's what?
25% rock.
That don't mean anything.
I know it's
No.
trees,
30
38
acres,
rock.
that's 7.5 acres, you might even not use that, so. I know it's 25%.
Some of it's hard pan up there.
Right.
When they took the hard pan off and pushed it down to next to Martin Utilities.
They didn't do much shooting over
They wasn't much there.
there. Reasonably.
I asked a question, I said, how long would it
Acres,
take,
34.
how long would it take if they didn't use a sheep plow and pack that down? How many years would you have to wait before you used it? He said, somewhere between 50 and 100 years. And
Do it
it's
again.
Roger's boy,
He said, what?
between 50 and 100 years,
To do what?
if you wanted to use it to put a big building on.
Without packing it now.
Yeah.
Well, he's just trying to create a
Natural,
job.
natural pack.
know.
You don't know if it's packed or not, you put it down
Needs to
in
be.
there.
Kevin's just trying to make himself a job with it. But it's, they cut him.
I think he had a piece of land for sale up there.
Probably, on the outside.
That's the thing you gotta look at, you know, just going there and buying it, if it don't, you know, buy it, it don't work. It's like, Palm Olive, they went down there and built it, and they had to pour their big pilings down there, what, 8, 10 foot though?
Where?
Got Palm Olive,
Oh, at Beef
Colgate.
Fan.
Colgate.
They didn't have to there at Beef Fan,
It'd
one over
be-
there on the boulevard.
You know, today, you'd be sitting on a floating building.
Well, they had to do that right here, when he was square. He's got $3,000.
There's a whole lot to look at, Rick.
Do you have any information you want to share with us on POD, the possibility of using PODs in this configuration, this new jail?
Well, in the radial design, that's what, well, in all of them, that's the way jails are built now, is the
That
double
concept.
stacking.
And when you say 2 floors, there's not a floor in between it necessarily. You know, they, just like down when you saw at Coffee County, there's 2 levels of inmates, but it's not, they've got the control booth or whatever it is. Hawkins County's like that, Illinois, North Carolina's like that, Jefferson County's like that, when they say 2 floors. It's like, you know, originally, one of the concepts was 60 feet, and I'm going, when you do 60 feet, that's 30-foot floor. That's gymnasium, something like that, really that big. High.
It's actually one floor with a walkway around it, though. It's actually one floor
Yeah, but what I'm saying, this room, this not
About
30 feet.
That's the information I have
Yeah.
for you guys.
I think we get, honestly, I think we have to get too much. All the stuff we've got, bring it in-house, get somebody that's close, we got these guys in Charlotte.
What I recommend, Bill, is we get together tonight, come up with a date, or maybe you can come up with a date, put it out to everybody, we go around, look at some of these sites we want to do, and finalize this thing. Whether we want to stay over here, go out here somewhere, or what, we just need to make a
We
decision.
voted to stay here,
So,
or I think, the previous
Anyone
commission.
else have any more
Thus, we
comments?
bought that land for that.
Mayor, the staffing numbers that you have on this, where did these numbers come from?
I spent a couple hours with Gino and Teresa, and we went over, the staffing model for concept one.
That's the numbers that they say they would take.
If you staffed it today with 55, tell me what you like to do.
Okay.
We won't need any more. Not room for any more. We got 8, we got 40, how many now? How many been operating? So you hired them 2 weeks ago, I think Amy should. Yeah. Good, sounds like
Well, they stay is that high.
that's the point, they got, they haven't had 55 this, I guess the last 2 years, have you?
I think we
I
have.
think our old staff for about 15 minutes.
Yeah,
One guy was there, and he went to lunch, didn't come back, did he?
yeah,
Chief?
we've had that happen on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't understand that, but when you say it's 55, it's not 50.
That's how many positions.
Yeah, you know.
So this is just a desire on number of employees, what they estimated the cost.
And the cost estimate is based on today's salaries, benefits.
Right.
That's
Full benefit.
correct.
Okay.
Just to
Is that
add,
good on the jail study?
just to add to the, payroll, we're at 55, 45. That would add 14 cents on the tax rate right there. Not counting that, just to operate. I believe. $2.7 million. Right, no, I'm sorry, I said that wrong, we had 26. Zero.
Hey, Bill,
Yeah.
I'm with you. I would rather spend more money on education than I would jail. However, we're in a situation, we've got to do something. What is the answer? What is the answer?
Well, I think we need to do what we're doing, but I think we need to look at it, what's the most we can spend? What can we get by with? And make it acceptable, there again. Does the front of it need to be like
No, I
City Hall? Let's look at
That's the
City Hall, that's a prime
That's
example.
not.
You know, they spent, whatever it was down there, they
for
could go,
today? Do we build just for today, or do we have to look
I
at
think
it?
you have to look at that, it's going, but they can fill it up tomorrow. Guarantee you, you take the bracelets off,
does anybody want to go see some of these other property, places or anything, or you just want to like kick it down the road later? That's up to y'all. You in?
that's my point. You're not gonna build it to hold the law.
I don't think they know. I don't think
Well, I'm with you, man. I don't know the right answer here.
I mean, I personally, what would I do? I'd do anything else, I'll think about that. Prime example, we did the thing at, Grass House, get our numbers. But let's go to the school board of Washington County. Have an engineer, an architect, estimate their, a new school. I think it's,
What's the name of it? State Franklin, I believe, or some creek, whatever.
Boone Creek,
Huh?
Boone Creek.
Maybe it's Boone something, yeah. They said 44 million, 44 million, that's what they're asking. Johnson City, or not Johnson City, Washington County hired someone to oversee it, and the bid was 26 million. Now, they did cut out a gym, what was that, maybe 3 million bill for? But I'm just saying, you know.
I think it's called school though, Bill.
What was that, Jim?
Huh?
What?
No, I gotta go. Right here, talk school and stuff, you know, we're not getting nothing done tonight, we're just pushing this thing down the road some more. I'm not gonna waste my time doing it, so.
I make the motion that we go look at the properties and see what we can find, see what the prices are on those.
You want to look at what?
I'll second that motion.
And I'm gonna go myself.
Well, I don't care. You think that'll make this process go any quicker?
Anyone else? We need to move on.
I'd like to find a solution where we can move forward.
Let me ask you a question. Just say, what will happen, you know, the last 4 years, we've talked about, Bill, you know, our bond issues are coming, maturing, you know, this year, and they got, what, 2 more years, got 2 more that's maturing out, so we got a total of, what, 27 million that's coming up, that's paid off?
No, the biggest chunk rolls off this year.
Okay. And what we talked about, no, really, just, we talked about that we could possibly, if we could build this jail for, what, $27 million, which money that we've been paying on the bond issue. By doing that, we wouldn't have to take and raise taxes to build the jail if we could do it in that process of that 27 million. And I kind of like the idea of, okay, say, Mr. Architect, this is what we want to do, this has got $27 million, and this is what we want to spend.
I think it's 35 though, wasn't it?
I mean,
But that's less than that now because the interest rates are.
well, that's true, but somewhere along, but rather than just go out and say, okay, it's 66 billion, and doing the figures we're doing there, why can't we just go ahead and do what we're
Jeff,
doing
what do you
there?
think we ought to do? You shake your head a lot. Other than the fact you think we ought to move it, what do you think we ought to do? How much do you think we ought to spend?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, until we find out exactly how much it's gonna be, we won't know until we go look at different sites.
So let's just say, for instance, figure out, do without the site. Do without the site. You want to build it in the city, you have to, for the infrastructure.
Right.
You're really talking about leaving money in. To move it out in the county, then you got to take everything out to there. That's very expensive. What do you say, forget about the land, somebody's going to give us the land, what do you think we ought to spend?
Well, there's variables with that as well, depending on what
Well, just
company
pick
you
a
use.
number. I've got a number. My number's 30 million.
I figured more than that, probably 35 to 38 million.
So none of these, wherever you go, fit that I'm aware of, 47, 66, 66. Don't get close, I think it's up here too.
Do you think anybody's satisfied with 66, 65, or $47 million? Is anybody satisfied with that? You ever good about that?
Talk about how you want to. Well, don't you raise the tax to that?
Relation to anybody else.
Let's see it.
Change your head, do everything you want to.
And the thing
We're
about it,
stewards of the county's money.
the architect's making 7.5% of all that money too. The more he gets, the more he makes too. And see, why can't the architect work for us instead of us work for them?
For sure.
Really? Somehow or another, we need to put in our head, this is how, there's a limit how much we want to spend. We need to put it in there. I think we need to be serious about that. And then we can go from there and then try
We
to.
just need to decide if this Tim's talking about, if there's a couple pieces of property. I think the property is actually gonna push it on down the road. But if there's a place we're gonna go, or do we decide and we get struck with the design back to go over here where we need to, you know, so we can move forward.
You gave us the design right over here, of course it's changed.
Right.
But he gave us his final bill for 600 on what we've got.
Right.
We didn't have to encroach on, Cross Allison. That was all, we own 2 or 3 spots on Allison. We own a corner right here, don't we, which can't use much for it. But, you know, you're looking at, if you go across Allison, you're looking at probably, like you said, $1.7 million to buy the land.
Well, we're gonna build this thing for 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, and at what point are we gonna have to move somewhere else to make it bigger?
I mean, I think couple of points. One is, I think you need to decide how large you want it and how much you're willing to pay. And then we can choose a site. And, I think those are the 2 critical steps.
Would it be inconvenient to ask how much it would cost? Let's say on 25 years, we could do 25 years. Just give us a variable on $10 million, just pick it up. And then we can have some numbers to say, you know, 45 million, well, it's gonna cost you this, and 30 million is gonna cost you this. Just, no variable rate, fixed rate, regardless of what the guy,
So,
the advisor says.
all right, so would you want this? And see if I'm answering your question better. Is if, we've got, starting in July 1.
I don't care about that. I wanna know, or I think we wanna know, I don't know what our car payment's gonna be monthly. That's what it is. Don't care about last week's, don't care about next week's. What, just say $5 million. What does $5 million, that's $200,000 a year in principal, I do know that, for $5 million. What, you know, so each 66 would be 12 times that, whatever that math is. 2.4 million or 24, plus the interest.
What's the payment on, say that?
Very simple. Not what our tax is, not that. Honestly, and do 5, and then we can do variables from it.
So are you ready to talk those numbers? Okay.
See what we got, where we're gonna go.
I'll get that in.
Are there options on that though? Is there any other option on
Talk
that?
about it, yeah. I was working on something to try to get keep from issuing the bonds, but I probably won't. I do know this, my experience has been, what would that do? Has anybody in here issued any debt on behalf of the county? I don't think we have, have we? When's the last we did was,
The road in the schools,
that was when?
14.
Last part, or early 14. So nobody here, I'm not the one that's voted on well, Howard did, and, Goins, Debbie Edwin. Yeah, so 3 of 14, I voted on, issuing debt. But historically, what I put in here, you know, by law, you have to have the money committed, budgeted to issue debt, if you're using bonds. We can do it another way, and we don't, but I will promise you, we say we're gonna spend 35 million, we come in 37.5 million, I'll bet you I got it. Now, if we have money arranged, which we can do legally, we don't have to tell them what it is. We have sufficient funding to do it. And that's what we need to do with the school system. Because 15 million we did in bonds, they spent about 11.5 million on the projects. They got 10.5 million to do whatever they wanted to. They got 30%, well, a little more than that, almost $4 million. Because they over budget. We bid.
So, Mr. Chairman, what I'll do, I'll come back with some financial numbers
on the debt service that would take for different levels, and then we can discuss that.
Anything else on jail staff? Okay. Any new business? See none. Items of interest? None. We'll have a regular commission meeting Thursday, and, let's see, that'll be the 15th, 5 p.m., day after tomorrow.
And the public hearing. And the public hearing at 4.
Oh, that's right, public hearing at 4, I beg your pardon. Public hearing at 4. Anything else? Meeting adjourned.